Hey there, YouTube. Sorry, I was just kind of making a face because I remembered I just plugged my phone into charge to start this video in my car, and usually I try to shut the dashboard off. It's hard to explain. I really hope this video has audio because a video I did recently that was an hour and a half long did not have audio, and I didn't realize that until the end after I had already done it and tried to watch it back later, and that was very frustrating. So now I still don't know why that was. Oh gosh, okay, anyways, I don't want to get into that right now. It's so frustrating. This is supposed to be a happy Christmas video, so I apologize if this doesn't have audio. Hopefully some of you guys out there can read lips if that happens. But Merry Christmas Eve. Yeah, I'm trying to be in good spirits right now. But it's the middle of a snowstorm. So I still worked last night. It was a 10-hour shift, and the snowstorm started pretty much right after I got to work, and it was snowing the entire time I was there, all night, and it continued throughout the night into today. And it said that it was supposed to stop sometime this afternoon, and it still really hasn't stopped snowing. So it was kind of weird though, because it looked like it was really coming down last night, like all throughout the time that I was at work. And I mean, it was, but based on how much it looked like it was coming down, it didn't really seem to be accumulating that much, like in the parking lot. So I did come out to my car a few times, you know, periodically throughout the night, throughout my shift at the club, to try to clear off my car here and there in increments the best I could, so that it wasn't going to be like one big thing to do at the end of the night. But based on so that, like, you know, the snow is accumulating on my car, it seemed, but based on the areas around my car, like the rest of the parking lot, it didn't really seem too bad compared to how much it looked like the snow was coming down. So that was kind of weird. And then, but it was very wet, heavy snow, and I was so anxious at the end of the night to go back to my apartment, because in the past, when I've worked through a snowstorm before and it was the wet, heavy type of snow like that, there have been a lot of times previous years that I've gotten back to my apartment and had to shovel pretty much the entire driveway after work, which is a pretty big driveway, and I park pretty far into it. So that's taken me 2-3 hours before, and there have been a lot of times where I haven't even been able to get into the parking lot because the snow will kind of be built up like in the front entrance area, like where after I guess a lot of cars have been driving by, it'll kind of like push the snow off to the side where it all accumulates right into the entranceway. So yeah, there have been times when I've had to like leave my car out in the street and like just try to shovel that huge heavy mound that kind of like freezes into this big blockade to block even just the entrance of the driveway, yet alone the rest of it, which is all just like so much heavy snow. That did not thankfully happen last night though. I thought that it was going to, based on how things have been in the past. I was just like, I didn't even know if I wanted to go back to my apartment. I was like, maybe I should just go to the gym and just sleep in my car, wait till daylight. I really was just dreading going back there and having to do that. But yeah, when I was looking around the parking lot of the club before I left, it didn't seem like that much snow in the parking lot. So I was like, and not just like the front where they were plowing, but like also off to the side, like near the walkways and like the edges didn't seem like that much snow either. So I was like, okay, maybe I can just go back and check it out. And it was actually surprisingly okay. I couldn't believe it. So that was like almost like pretty much a Christmas gift. I got back and the driveway really wasn't too bad. I don't think I would have even had to shovel at all last night after work, because I was able to just get into the driveway and park my car. There was snow, but I could kind of drive over it. But I did get out and shovel my car, or shovel, shovel, shovel around the car a little bit anyways, just to try to clear most of what was there around my car and my parking spot as best I could, because the snow was still coming down and it said that it was supposed to keep coming down until today, which has been the case. So last night was one thing, but then I came out today and today was not good. So because it had continued to snow throughout the rest of the night and today, yeah, it sucks because I really thought and was hoping that I was going to get to start this video a lot earlier today, but it took me probably at least an hour to clear off my car and shovel around my car in the driveway before I came out today. Yeah, it really sucked. It was a lot worse than last night. And I also kind of tried to clear the 2 parking spots for my neighbors next to me. So I feel kind of bad though, because there was another car parked way over to the side and I didn't bother with their spot because they were parked so far from me. So, but I have my parking spot, there's a neighbor to my right and a neighbor to my left that both park right next to me. So partly to try to, like, I don't know, I guess be nice, like in the Christmas spirit, I shoveled most of around their areas as well, their parking spots as well. The one on the left of me is, I think, a younger guy, and he wasn't there. His car wasn't there. So, you know, I don't know. But people, this doesn't usually happen, thank gosh, but in the past, I have shoveled out my parking space only to have somebody else park there when their parking space hasn't been shoveled. That's only happened like 1 or 2 times, like years ago. But when that does happen, it's like, yeah, that's not, usually we all park in the same spot. So, ooh. Speaking of which, the person in front of me, I'm gonna move forward a little bit. Hopefully this doesn't mess up the video, because like any little thing that I do can mess up the stream sometimes. So I apologize if that happens, but just want to pull up. I'm actually not parked at the club right now. I'm parked at the grocery store. Yeah, it's funny. I'm wearing this outfit and I'm trying to like be in a good mood as best I can and like be in the holiday spirit. But I feel like based on the outfit that I'm wearing, it doesn't match my facial expressions when I'm like out and about running errands. Like, this is supposed to be like a happy outfit, and I feel like based on wearing this, I should have a happier face. But it's kind of like I'm wearing this jolly looking outfit and I'm going around like trying to run these errands in the snowstorm, and my face is just matching the weather, not the outfit. I have this happy looking outfit and the facial expressions are just pure misery. But every now and then I'll try to like fix it and like, you know, like try to smile at people and try to, and other times I just can't fake it anymore. And it's because this is just pure misery, like this kind of weather for me. I hate this so much. But so then the neighbor to my right, she's, I have her number in my phone. She's retired. She's probably around my mom's age. She's not that old, but she's not young, you know, so her car is usually parked there. She's usually there, it seems. She doesn't really seem to go out that much. I'm pretty sure she's retired. So, but yeah, I mean, I just felt bad, like, because me trying to shovel the area around my car, I kind of like inadvertently can't really help but to put some of that snow off to the sides near where my neighbors are parked. So then, or where their cars would be parked, like their parking spaces. So then I feel bad about that. So then I kind of just have to shovel that snow too. And then I'm the kind of person, once I start doing something, it's difficult for me to like break out of that mindset of trying to finish the task. So like the more I start to shovel around my neighbor's parking spot, then I'm like, well, screw it. I might as well just shovel like the whole thing, and or like as much as I can around their spots too. So that took me a while today. And then I went to one grocery store so far and I had like a mixture of facial expressions, just like pure misery, and then also trying to like transcend that as best I could from time to time when I could remember to do so, or like force myself to. And then now I'm at a second grocery store. I didn't really plan on working tonight, just because I actually didn't really even want to come out at all today, but I purposely left this box that my grandmother sent me, I purposely left this in here from last night. I had it in my car yesterday because I got it yesterday, and I didn't open it until the very end of the night after I had already gotten back to my apartment. I just opened the top where the tape was and like took a peek inside, but I saw like 2 food items on top that I already know I'm not going to be having for myself. I'll probably just bring those into the club because it's just not stuff that I would like have. But then there's some stuff underneath that, and most of the stuff underneath that is wrapped in wrapping paper. So, you know, obviously it was a snowstorm last night. It kind of still is right now. But I had just worked a 10-hour shift last night, and I was like, well, hopefully the stuff in here, it will be cold tolerant and not freeze too bad in this weather if I just leave this box in my car. So I didn't really have the energy at that point to open what was in there. And I also kind of purposely left it for today because I knew that would be some extra motivation for me to come out today, basically. So, and I wasn't planning on working today, but I did just see a notification on the app that our club has where they send out notifications to the entertainers that work there and stuff. And it said that there's like, we pay to work there, but I guess there's gonna be a free rent if we go in today, or like the next few entertainers that go in. So I'm not sure. I'm still at the second grocery store right now, and I haven't gone in there yet. I really just wanted to start this video now while there's still some daylight out, because it's going to be getting dark out so soon. And a lot of the more recent videos that I've done lately it's gotten dark, like, you know, like pitch black pretty much in the middle of the videos. So yeah, I wanted to start this one now as soon as I could. I might, drive over to the club later after I go into the store, just to see, you know, how it is, or I don't know. I really didn't want to work tonight, but we'll see. Sorry, look at my notes here. Yeah, I'm very tired. I really don't feel like my brain is functioning properly right now. It's been like freezing off and on inside of my skull pretty much. I don't see how people can be expected to like think properly or like function properly in this kind of climate. I really don't. Like they say when people climb Mount Everest, they can't trust their own judgment once they get to a certain elevation because their brain isn't getting enough oxygen. That's why a lot of people that climb Everest usually have to have supplemental oxygen, like in bottles, to bring with them. Although there have been a lot of documented cases of people that have done it without that. But I think it's a lot more common and suggested for people to have supplemental oxygen when they climb to elevations like that, or try to, because it's just not, you know, very accommodating type of environment for the human body. So, and neither is this where I am. I mean, I feel like a lot of the stupid stuff that I've done in my life has been in the colder months like this, because I'm just not thinking properly. I just can't. I mean, it's just, nobody should be expected to. We're all just, I don't know. I don't know how or why people do this or put up this. I really don't, including myself. I'll never understand. Anyway. So, yeah, and my shift at the club last night was excruciating. There's so many things that I think that I have as far as like health conditions that I'm not diagnosed with because I don't have health insurance or go to the doctor, and I haven't been to anything like a doctor or anything like that in so long. I can't even remember the last time. But I'm pretty sure like one of the things that I think I probably have is like fibromyalgia, where your entire body just hurts from head to toe all the time. So, because yeah, when I was at the club last night, like every part of my body was just in such agonizing pain. Like everything that I did, every move that I made, it's like that a lot. But whenever I try to take days off, it just makes it worse, which sucks, because it's like my body needs those days off to try to like rest and recuperate. But yes, it's nice to try to catch up on sleep like that, but it actually, in that way it helps, but in the rest of the sense of, in every other way, pretty much, it seems like it hurts more than it helps because my muscles stiffen up, my body stiffens up, I lose my muscle memory, just because, yeah, I haven't been working. I'm about to get my period, so I haven't been working as much at the club this past week so far. And yeah, it just makes it that much more difficult when I do go in. It's so painful. It's funny because I am about to get my period, so I have the cramps, and I'm wearing this corset. I'm wearing a corset, this white part, shoveling like half a foot of snow at least out of, you know, like 3 parking spots in the driveway. So anyway, my shift at the club last night, I barely went on the pole. Normally I try to go on the pole a lot, as much as I can throughout my shift. I went on the pole and I went upside down one time when I first got there, and also one time at the end of the night. Only 2 times in a 10-hour shift. That's not like me. That's not, you know, that's very disappointing for myself. I'm not happy with that at all. I'm very disappointed in myself with that. It really bothers me. The pole's just so slippery, and I just don't understand how it gets as slippery or why it gets as slippery as it does. And there's nothing I can do to fix it. It seems like I try to clean it off with the rubbing alcohol as best I can. You know, I even climb the pole with like a wet paper towel with rubbing alcohol on the paper towel in my hand. Like I'm climbing the pole with the paper towel. Other times when it's especially difficult, I'll try to just do it without the paper towel. It doesn't really help. It's just so slippery. I talk about this all the time, but I'll never stop talking about it because I'll never understand it. It's like winter. I'll just never understand, like, why. So, and then towards the end of the night, I did try to climb the pole a 3rd time. So I climbed the pole. I did climb the pole the 3rd time, but that time I was kind of like debating if I should try to go upside down again or not. And this was the very end of the night, you know, the snowstorm. So there was only like 10 minutes left in the night. None of the other dancers were still there. No customers whatsoever. The last dancer that had been called on stage before me didn't bother to go on, which happens a lot, honestly. But so I just kind of went on just to try to, you know, because it's a little less scary, less intense, less pressure to try to climb the pole and do a pole trick without everybody watching to see if I fall and die or fall and like get really hurt, you know. So I was like, okay, just like to show myself that I could still do it, or just try to get more practice in with it, since I've been doing it less lately. I was about to try to go upside down for the 3rd time at the end of the night, and then the manager on shift like screams up at me. It's a good thing they didn't do that while I was trying to like go upside down. I was just kind of like perched, like, you know, I just climbed the pole and was just like kind of trying to hold myself up there for a few moments. Just like I could barely keep my body up on the pole. It's so slippery. So I'm just debating in my head if I should try to go upside down at that point, because yeah, again, it's just so slippery. It's just so dangerous. So they scream up at me and I looked down at them. I'm like, what? And they were like, you know, it was a snowstorm, so I think they just kind of wanted to wrap up the shift like quickly and that kind of thing, because nobody else was really there at that point. And they were like, oh, they're gonna come on and clean the stage now. So I was like, okay, thank gosh, like I'm not gonna put up any fight there. Like that was honestly a huge relief, because I was exhausted and that pole is so slippery. And I wasn't upset about not going upside down that time. Twice was enough for me that shift. Although, yeah, I am honestly upset with myself about that, but I don't know. You can't win them all. I just don't understand how that pole is as slippery as it is. I just don't. I honestly think they put lotion in the rubbing alcohol. They must, or baby oil. They must do something like that, because there's just no other way. There's no other explanation for it to get the way that it does. Anyway, but I want this to be a happy, positive video, thinking about positive things, blessings. There were apples at the club last night. So I've mentioned before recently how, you know, like I don't typically buy a lot of fruit, although I really do like fruit, just because it's expensive and heavy and, you know, that kind of stuff. But recently there had been a box of oranges delivered to the club, which are definitely gone now because they were like a real hit and so good, and those went very quickly. But then there were also apples at the club last night, which was very nice. So I had some of those. And also, I don't want to jinx this, but I am about to get my period, and for the past, well, for quite a while now, I'd say at least 6 months, I remember this really starting to be an issue last June. I never had cavities as a kid or growing up, but I was starting to get a toothache on the left side, my back left molar, one of them, I think. Because I had been having a lot of like candy and sugar and like a lot of hard candies and like at work and stuff, so like not brushing my teeth very shortly after having them, kind of thing. And from last June up until just this past month, pretty much, it was really weird, because I'm assuming it has something to do with my hormones, because it would bother me a little bit like throughout the month, like the rest of the month, but especially when I was PMSing and about to get my period, like the week leading up to my period, it would get excruciating to where I was actually thinking about possibly going to a dentist, but I haven't done that because I know it would cost money and I don't have health insurance. So I've been trying to take care of it on my own the best I can. I have this little like toothpick tool that I've had for years. It's like the same kind of tool they would use at the dentist, where the dentist cleans your teeth for a checkup, where it's like about like the size of a dollar bill, and each end has like a little metal curved piece where you can like scrape your teeth. So I use that, and I don't know what I would do without that thing, because food does get stuck in there, and it definitely seems to help to try to like clear out that area. Sorry, I know that's gross, but you know, like that does definitely seem to help. I've tried to cut back on the sugar, honestly not as much as I could or should, but I've tried to like be mindful of it as best I can. And I've definitely been trying to like brush my teeth more, like rather than just the twice a day, like morning and night. Like if I'm not working that day or that night, I'll try to like brush extra, I guess, like especially if I've had sugar in my coffee or whatever. I don't know, I've just really been trying to take care of it as best I can. And it's kind of, I don't know, for a few months there, like last summer especially, it was really bothering me. Like there were times when it was really, really bad. Like one thing that would help a lot though also, besides the toothpick and, you know, just trying to like brush my teeth more, I would have hot sauce. So they say hot sauce has a compound, I think it's substance P or something in the capsicum. I don't know how to pronounce that. Something in one of the compounds in hot peppers has like pain relieving properties. So I would dip my little dessert fork that I have in the hot sauce, and then kind of just like try to put it back near that area and like kind of press the hot sauce into that spot with my tongue, which sounds weird, but I swear that actually worked really well. When the times where it was so bad that I didn't know what else to do, where I was like, it was getting unbearable, when I would use that hot sauce trick, that's like the one thing that would really help to take the pain away in those moments. Whereas nothing else. I tried baking soda, I tried just brushing my teeth back then with that, and I tried like saltwater rinse. It was the hot sauce that did it. That was the magic trick. So I have like tons and tons and tons of bottles of hot sauce like on hand, just in case for that. But you know, like gradually throughout the past couple of months, again, I don't want to jinx it, but it has definitely gotten better. And I've been needing to use the hot sauce less and less. So I'm like, normally, because I'm about to get my period now, like this is the time where it would really be acting up, and honestly it feels, I don't notice anything. I really don't. Like, it's very, very strange. I haven't had to break out the hot sauce. I really don't feel anything. It feels normal. So I don't know how or why it's been getting better, but it has. So I really don't want to jinx it, but I'm just like, I don't know how. I'm just amazed by it. I'm so thankful, and that's a very positive thing that I want to try to like remind myself of and think about, because there were times in the past, like, you know, this past year, where it was very, very bad, and I just didn't know what I was gonna do. You know, if I hadn't had the hot sauce on hand those times, I don't know what I would have done. Like, it was so bad at certain points. But anyway, it does seem to be better now, so I'm so happy about that. And then oh, I was just thinking, when the manager said that they were cleaning the stage last night, that stage was really dirty to where, and it usually is. I have my Swiffer here in my car that I break out to try to clean it myself sometimes, but I was too tired and too sore to do that yesterday. So at first, when the manager said that they were cleaning the stage last night, I was just like happy, because that meant for me to get off the stage and get off the pole. So I was like, okay, great, let's do it. But then later on, I was thinking like, oh my gosh, they're actually cleaning the stage, which is another reason that it might be, you know, a good idea, or it's another little like incentive and motivation for me to maybe try to go into the club and work tonight, although I really don't want to, but I'm already out, I'm already dressed. I don't know. They had the free rent incentive, and they did clean the stage last night, so I'm trying to keep that in mind. Also, that same manager, he mentioned something to me last night about, I guess for your car, a thing called cold starts, which I had never really heard of before. But because towards the end of the night, I was like kind of peeking out the front entrance doorway to see how it looked outside, to try to like prepare myself as best I could. And they were standing by the doorway, and they asked me if they it was almost the end of the shift, so people were starting to leave and stuff. And they asked me if I wanted to have the management or the floor host warm up my car, which I never do. A lot of people do that, but I personally don't, because I don't trust anyone or anything, and I get too anxious like having my car running without me right there. So I said that basically. I was like, oh no, it's okay, like that's my baby, and you know, I just don't feel, it just makes me anxious to have my car on out there without me near it when I can't see it, basically. And they were like, oh, well, have you ever heard of cold starts? And I was like, well, I think I might have come across the term before, but I definitely don't know what that means. So they said that basically this time of year, or this kind of weather when it's really cold out, it's not good for your car to, for people to start their cars and then just immediately drive them when it's this cold out. I guess it's better for the engine, or just better for the car overall, to warm up a bit first. So I really had no idea about that until he said that. So I was like, oh shit, that reminds me. Okay, sorry. I gotta pump. He also, okay, I'm pumping the gas pedal because he also said, after that, I was like, okay, well, that's good to know, because when I do start my car, I will typically sit in here just like trying to organize as best I can and going through notes, going through my phone. Just I idle in my car a lot. I don't like to, for the gas, but also now I have another reason to think about that, because I guess he was like, yeah, your car really only needs to be warmed up for like 5 minutes or so. He was like, that's usually good for it. What's not good is if you sit in your car and idle without pumping the gas. he said that wasn't good for the engine or something like that, which I had also never heard of before. And I was just like, crap, I definitely do that. Because a lot of my videos are on the longer side. I do them all from my car so far. And when I sit here doing these videos in my car, I've never thought to pump the gas. So he said even just sitting in your car idling for like 40 minutes without pumping the gas was bad. And yeah, I sit in my car for like multiple hours a lot of the time without pumping the gas. So I guess when you idle in your car for an extended period of time like that, you're supposed to pump the gas to keep the, like periodically a little bit here and there, to try to keep the oil flowing or going where it's supposed to go. I'll be honest, I don't really understand the actual mechanics of this still because I haven't looked it up online, but I'm just going on what he said briefly last night so far. But I'm glad he said that because, again, I idle in my car. I idle, you know, like I do my videos in my car all the time, just with the car running. And because I need to have my phone charging to do these because it sucks the battery so quick. So I learned something new. I learned 2 new things last night as far as that. And so, but I just remember, I'm glad that I mentioned this. I know I'm going to forget again about it because I always forget everything. I'm so ADHD. But I wanted to mention that in this video, and I'm really going to do the best that I can to try to remember that. Like, I just pumped the gas now, so this video is half an hour, so it hasn't been 40 minutes yet. I don't know how much I should be pumping the gas, like every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes. I'll have to Google this more. I have to like actually look or Google this at all. I haven't Googled it at all yet. I'm gonna have to Google this and look this up online later as best I can and do more research or any research. I haven't done any research yet. So anyway, sorry, I'm trying to like do this quickly because it's gonna be getting dark out very shortly. What else? Oh, I think the only thing I can see written on my notes so far for today is that somehow I pulled a muscle in my shoulder last night. This was before I had shoveled anything. This was before the snow had really accumulated. This was before any kind of shoveling whatsoever on my part. I don't know what the F I did. It feels better now, thank gosh, but it's still not 100%. It's still not, it's my left shoulder. I really don't know what I did because I was trying to warm up and stretch so much at the start of my shift yesterday, and I really didn't do hardly any pull. I went on the pull like 2 or 3 times. 3 times total, and I went upside down only twice that I can recall. So I think I overstretched it, honestly. I think there was a certain stretch that I was doing where I just stretched too far or like too much. I don't know. I don't usually pull my shoulder muscles very much. It's usually my ankles and my wrists. Sometimes my knees that'll bother me. Not so much my shoulders, but it was just so weird because this was before any kind of shoveling. And I thought the shoveling would make it worse, but it didn't feel too bad when I was shoveling. I was trying to like do it, you know, whichever way that I could to put less pressure. I was trying to be mindful of it when I was doing the shoveling later on. And it actually does feel better now, I think. I want to think it does. I'm pretty sure it does. I didn't notice it as much today as I did last night, that's for sure. But anyways, I'm just like, how did I do that? Because again, I really didn't do a whole lot on the pole last night. Hardly anything really. But my body's just hurting from head to toe. I really think that being closer to your period for women, I think that increases like inflammation markers throughout the body, I've read, and that definitely seems like the case for me. Oh, another thing I did want to mention though, sometimes I've wondered before if like having gluten in my diet makes a difference or not as far as me being sore and like feeling inflammation symptoms. But so like, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago, pretty recently, I had been having more gluten back in my diet and I didn't really notice a difference, but I'm pretty much sore all the time to varying degrees, but it's usually pretty bad. So obviously I was still sore back then. I wasn't really too sure if the gluten was a factor in that, but recently, within the past few weeks or this past month or so, maybe, I've gone back to cutting back on the gluten to see if that would make a difference and if I felt any better. I do not. So I definitely don't think that gluten is really a factor in that for me. I don't think I have an allergy to it. I am just as sore, if not more sore than I was back when I was having it. So just wanted to mention that to help remind myself. I really don't think I have a gluten allergy. The media might say that people do, or that a lot of people do, or it's more common than it might actually be. I'm not too sure, but I just don't think that's a factor for me. Because again, I'm just even more sore now. So I think for me, it's just the fact that I'm getting older every day, every moment. And, you know, how much I push myself to try to go on the pole. And I don't know, I think I probably have fibromyalgia, or I know I have scoliosis. I have a lot of issues, okay? So anyway, but another thing that I was thinking about recently, I've been doing a lot of research about the endurance expedition. I think it was 1916, Ernest Shackleton and Fred Worsley. I don't think I remembered Fred Worsley's last name. I mentioned him yesterday in my video yesterday, or was it yesterday? Yeah, I think it was. I don't know, that's kind of a tricky last name for me to remember, but I was watching it again last night after work, and Worsley, that was his last name. He was the captain of the Endurance. Ernest Shackleton, I think, was the leader of the actual, expedition, but Frank Worsley was the captain and the navigator, and those guys were, in their 40s. So if you research, anyone that might be interested, it's a very interesting story, I think. They were exploring the Antarctic, and they got stuck down there, and they had to trek. They had to do some things. They had to cross 800 miles in this little boat. None of the guys died though, which was pretty amazing, is what they say. But they also, 3 of them, Ernest Shackleton, Frank Worsley, and one of the other guys, had to trek on foot through a lot of the landscape to try to go get help. And these guys were in their 40s. I don't know about the third guy, but I think Ernest Shackleton was 40 at the time, and he also had a heart condition. He made it through that ordeal, but I guess he died of a heart attack after the fact, 5 years later. But then Frank Worsley, the captain, was, I'm pretty sure, 42 at the time. So these guys were in their 40s, and this was back in the early 1900s, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, I always think to myself now, I feel so awful and old at 37, but if you research and read about what those guys were doing, it's damn, for any age, but also they were in their 40s. So that's just amazing to me. I'm not too sure the rest of the guys in the crew. I think there were 28 guys total, I'm pretty sure, in the whole expedition. I'm not too sure the ages, or the general rough estimate, if most of the guys were in their 40s, or if I'm assuming that most of the rest of the guys were probably younger, but I'm really not too sure because I haven't gone as far as to research or look into those actual details as well yet. I just thought it was amazing that Ernest Shackleton and Frank Worsley were in their 40s because it's really, the entire story is amazing any age they would have been. But now I really am curious about the rest of the crew, what their ages would have been. I guess 22 of the rest of the guys had to wait back where they were stranded while Ernest Shackleton and Frank Worsley and some of the other guys went to try to go get help. And it was just this long, I think the whole thing lasted 2 years. It was this really long fiasco that just, it's a really amazing story. And what's also really amazing is I'm pretty sure a different guy, a photographer, was able to get pictures and videos of some of that. And there's a particular documentary, well, I don't know if you would call it a documentary, but there's a video here on YouTube that I was watching last night. It's called Shackleton's Captain. And this particular video is more so focused on Frank Worsley, the captain of the ship, and his just amazing navigational skills and that kind of thing. But in that video, it's really interesting because part of it is a reenactment with modern day people, and you can clearly see that it's a reenactment, whereas it's interspersed with footage that I'm pretty sure might be actual footage from those times. I mean, you never really can be too sure or really tell with stuff like that nowadays, it seems. like everything could just be fake or made up or AI. I don't know, is what it seems like to me anyway. I never really know what I'm looking at or what I'm like dealing with. Like, what is this really? But it appears in that video that it might possibly be actual footage from back in those times that they were able to capture on camera. If not, they made it look like that very well. It's really, really interesting, the footage. However, even if it's real or not, it's interesting either way to me because it looks real enough and it just looks so cool. They were like filming like the dogs they had back then, which apparently they had to kill and eat for food at a certain point. And I was kind of joking around in my other video the other day saying that maybe I had been Ernest Shackleton in the past life, but apparently Ernest Shackleton ordered one of the guys to like shoot the dogs and like kill his own cat. I could never do that. I understand why they might have thought it was necessary, but apparently they also were living off of like penguins and seals, which is kind of funny too, because I remember like months ago before I ever came across this story, I was kind of just in a silly mood and I was wondering like if people ever ate penguins, like what kind of animals like have been eaten and not, you know, like what in that spectrum. Like I know people joke about eating squirrels out in the wild, and stuff like that, but like I was thinking one day, like what about penguins and like what about like this and that. But apparently they were living off penguins at one point, but I guess before they were able to get access to enough penguins or whatever it was and seals and stuff, they had to eat the cat and the dogs. So I just feel like if I understand why maybe they would have thought that was necessary. Maybe it was necessary. I mean, there have been documented cases of people eating people, you know, in survival situations, but it's just like, I could never order somebody to kill their cat. I would have just probably been like, it was another guy's cat. So I'd be like, listen, dude, if you get hungry enough, I would just leave it up to him. Like if that guy gets hungry enough, he can decide to kill and eat his cat on his own terms. I'm not going to order him to do so. I'm not going to order him to kill his cat you know what I mean? Like that's just so sad. But there's like footage of the dogs too. And the dogs look so fluffy and cute. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe they had to eat the dogs. But it's a really interesting story. And I just think it's so amazing that they actually got footage of that. I mean, if you think about the struggle and the ordeal that they were going through, the fact, I mean, that's like amazing enough on its own, and that they all got through that, all of the guys survived apparently. But then also for them to be able to get footage in the midst of all that struggle and all of that stuff that they were having to do to try to survive, that they also were able to get video footage and pictures of it at the same time as well. It's just like, come on, like how? Like, wow, that's just amazing. Even if it's not real, it's a really interesting story. It's interesting to me regardless. So anyway. There was something else I wanted to say about that. It's not in my notes either. Oh, well, okay. Hopefully it'll come back to me. I don't know. I did really want to, I have this, I wanted to open some of these presents in this box for my grandmother. I know it's kind of cheesy, but it's obviously, you can probably tell it's already getting dark out. It's gonna be dark out like pretty much any minute now, which sucks. But I wanted to do this on camera because, and I really have to be able to get through this without crying too, you know, like, my Gram's obviously old and she's always been so supportive and so kind to me my entire life, you know. I feel like my family's pretty small, but out of everyone in my family, she's definitely the person that I've felt the closest to, like always. So every year without fail, she's always sent me stuff. I tell her not to, I tell her like, you know, but so I kind of wanted to unwrap some of this on camera just so I'll have like a memory of that. Obviously, like I said, every year I've gotten stuff from her, but I've never gotten it on camera. So just, oh, but I also talked to her recently about if I were to try to go see her there's a whole long list of reasons and a story behind why that's so difficult for me to try to do. The GPS on my phone doesn't really work. None of the stuff, anything that's any part of technology for me always seems to be hacked or compromised or messed up. Stuff has gone missing from my car. Like, it seems like people have come in here before, not forcible entry, but just very strange things. Stuff on my phone. I've had my GPS act very weird. I have extreme anxiety to where, especially with driving, I've been in a car accident before, so has my mom. And one of my grandmother's husbands also died in a car accident as well. So, I don't know, I have a terrible sense of direction. I was saying maybe I was Ernest Shackleton in the past life, but I definitely couldn't have been Captain Worsley because he was the navigator and I have a terrible sense of direction. But, yeah, anyways, so I don't know, but I had mentioned to my gram about if we were able to finally do that, if she would maybe want to do a YouTube video with me so I could have a memory of her that way. And she's very, very private, very, very like modest, shy. She does not like that kind of thing. So at first she said no, but then I don't know, a little bit after that we had talked again, and I mentioned that to her again, and like tried to a little more to try to convince her and tried to explain to her more of why I wanted to try to do that kind of thing. And she seemed, that second time we talked about it, she seemed to come around to the idea a little bit more. So I don't know. That's a tough subject for me. My gram really has my whole heart. She, you know, I've never really known my biological dad or his side of the family. My younger brother's biological dad adopted me when I was like 2 years old, apparently. And he actually had a pretty big family. He had 4 brothers and sisters. And his mom, so like my stand-in grandma on his side, was also very, very nice to me. And she would also send me stuff. The rest of the siblings, his siblings, didn't really like, they would, you know, kind of get my brother presents and not me, which honestly that never really bothered me as a kid. I kind of barely noticed it in the back of my mind, but because my grandmother always like took such good care of like making me feel special and sending me stuff, and she used to come visit me for my birthday and the holidays and stuff like that, I just never really noticed like that side of my brother's biological family on his dad's side. I never really noticed that as much. Like, it's weird because, yeah, his dad had, or has still currently, I'm pretty sure, 4 siblings. So there's 5 of them total in the family. And one of his siblings, his mother, so like my grandmother, she's passed away since on that side, but she would send me gifts as well, and she was always very attentive to me and treated me like her own biological granddaughter. And then one of his siblings would do that as well, like go out of their way to also send me stuff for the holidays. And a lot of the CDs, like back in that time, in those days, it wasn't like iPods and downloads for music as much than Spotify and streaming for music like it is these days. It was even a lot of times when I was really young, it was the cassettes, I think they were called, cassette tapes. So they would send me a lot of like cassette tapes and CDs for like the popular music, like Mariah Carey and TLC, Britney Spears. They got me like Backstreet Boys. They got me a lot of like the trending, like current music for those times. And I thought that was really nice and really special. It's pretty amazing that they did that. So that was my grandmother on that side, and also my aunt. That was the one sibling of my adoptive dad. That was the one sibling of his that did not have children. So there's 5 of them total. She was the only one that didn't have kids, my Aunt Kelly. Then my adoptive dad, technically had one biological child, which would have been my younger brother. You know, he adopted me, so I guess he had two in that sense, but biologically he only had one. Whereas two of his other sisters, no, one of his other sisters and then his younger brother had 3 children. And one of his other sisters had 4 children, or has 4 children. I don't know why I'm saying this in the past tense. Yeah. So I had a lot of cousins growing up, which was pretty cool. Because on my mom's side, she only has one brother, a younger brother who never married or had children. So biologically, and then my biological dad, I don't really know anyone from over there. So like I grew up and I was around a lot of cousins. They just weren't my biological cousins, but they were all really cool. I mean, every single one of them pretty much was a lot of fun, and we used to have some pretty good times. So I'm thankful for that. And yeah, but really, like, especially biologically, my grandmother's always been that one person in my family that's always like really focused on me and made me feel special and just always been there. And we've just always had a special connection. And I don't know what I'm gonna do when she's no longer around. I don't want to say that too much right now because it makes me cry, and I'm definitely gonna have a breakdown when she dies. I know that. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I can picture myself being here on YouTube for like 5 hours. I'll probably do like 5-hour streams, like sobbing the entire time, probably. I'll just do like 24-hour streams as long as YouTube will allow, just like trying to distract myself or like going off the rails, doing weird stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just know it's not gonna be good. It'll be interesting probably, but not good. But anyway, so before it really gets dark, I want to get into this a little bit with you guys. Kind of trying to get into the Christmas spirit. So I did already see the food items on top, which again, I won't be having these. I'll probably just bring these into the club and gift them to people. I'll put them where the apples were. It's funny because I love Chex cereal. Chex cereal is actually pretty much my favorite cereal, but I just don't like stuff like this because, like the Chex Mix, because it has artificial colors like yellow 6, yellow 5 Lake. I don't know. The artificial like colors and stuff like that just kind of freaks me out. But so I'm going to probably bring those into the club. And then I saw this a little bit already last night. She's always really liked Clinique stuff, and she's always sent me a lot of like Clinique things. So if anyone wants to know how I'm 37 years old, if anyone's curious out there how I am able to maintain this youthful glow, Clinique. I've always used a lot of Clinique products. Honestly, I really don't do anything. I wash my face with like regular bar soap, like the cheapest one I can find. So, I don't use any of this stuff, although I do sometimes. I mean, it's very rare that I put any kind of stuff like this on, but I have used this a lot in the past. I've always really liked this. The Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion has always been pretty good, I think. So I have a few of these still, and I do use this from time to time. I just don't like lotion, you know, going on the pole at the club and it's just like slimy and slippery, but obviously you need lotion every now and then, so I would recommend this one. But there's like a bunch of little Clinique samples in here. So I definitely do like Clinique as a brand. I love Clinique stuff, and as far as designers, I've always really liked Calvin Klein. So definitely getting dark. I already saw this too. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. It's just like a sparkly tree. I'll probably just put this in my apartment, or I was thinking about bringing it into the club. Glitter really freaks me out because it gets everywhere, but it's really cute. So I have a little like thing kind of like this that looks exactly like the house she used to have when I was growing up. That was like one of my favorite houses ever, and the number on the address is actually the same number that for my place that I'm in now, the apartment that I'm in, which I think is kind of cool. So I have like this little like ornament that kind of looks like exactly like that house that she used to have all those years ago. So I'll probably put this next to that. Okay. Crap, it's getting so dark already. I really hope this video has audio or I'm gonna be so sad. Oh gosh. Oh, and there was already a pair of socks in here that I took out. I'm wearing them right now. So I told her I wanted socks. I always need socks. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this box. Yeah. This is definitely another tree. I can feel this is a tree again. This is a bigger tree. Oh, that's nice. Oh my God. Yeah. She always tapes the box up with so much tape. So I did open the box already last night with this really nice hunting knife that I have. And I kind of wanted to open it with the knife and show you guys on here, but I wasn't sure if I was like allowed to show a knife like that on YouTube. I feel like there's got to be videos of people on here like with like rifles and like show it like guys doing videos with like guns and knives and like hunting supplies. But for whatever reason, I just didn't want to risk it. I was kind of I didn't know if it would be like a bad idea or not for me to show the knife on here. But it's a really nice knife. It's like a really good quality hunting knife that I've had for years. One of the guys that I used to almost date a long time ago, he didn't give it to me. I just kind of took it. He knew that I took it though. I borrowed it and refused to give it back because I'm so fascinated by it. It's such good quality. And it has like it clicks into place, and then it has like the protective barriers on the side to where it can't, like your hand won't slip down onto the blade because there's like protective things on the side. I really want to show it on here, but it's better that I don't. I've already opened the box and I still need to open this stuff. So where am I going to put these trees? Okay, I need to focus. I'm putting the trees back in the box. I can't even reach the box. Oh my gosh. Tree. Okay. Oh my God. All right. Oh man, I wish I was able to get out earlier when it's still light out. It's not too dark yet, is it? Okay, this goes back in the box. Get. All right, first present. Is it socks? Oh my God, is it socks? Oh my God. She makes so many of these. Oh my goodness. I think they're wrist warmers. It's not that I don't like these, it's just that whenever I go grocery shopping, the handles of all the bags get stuck on these sometimes. Because I never want to make more than one trip if I can help it. Okay, yeah. So it has like a little thumb hole. I do really like these though. These ones are better than the ones with the ruffles. A lot of the ones that she's made have like little ruffles on the side. And that's where the bags really get stuck, like the handles of the shopping bags. But these ones are a little better with that because these are cute. I'll probably wear these now actually. Aw. Okay. So not right now, but when I go into this store to shop. Oh God, I really don't want to go to work later. I'll probably go check it out just to see. They said the next 6 entertainers got in for free, and they posted that at 2:56. So now, by the time I wrap this up and after I go into the store, it'll probably be 4:56 or around there, excuse me. So that's 2 hours later. I'm really hoping that 6 other dancers have already gone in so that I can just not work. So that I can just go back and eat food. Go back to my place and stuff my face. My favorite. Okay. So, next present. I feel like, maybe I should try to get a thumbnail with these. It's already getting so dark. What could this be? I like the size and shape. All right. What timestamp? Oh my gosh, that was the exact. I was like, am I going to remember that timestamp to try to get that thumbnail if I want to later? That timestamp was at exactly the 60-minute mark. Holy crap, I can't believe. I feel like 5 minutes ago I was saying this video was half an hour, and now it's already an hour. Holy crap. What could this possibly be? I think they're socks. Are they socks? Wait a minute. What is this? Oh my gosh! It says socks on the side. They say there's that joke, like the older you get, the more excited you are to get socks. It's so true. At least I know it is for me. Socks and shoes, I always, well, dancer shoes. I have plenty of other shoes, but dancer shoes I always need, and then just socks in general. I always, oh my god. Wait. It says 5-pack too. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Socks. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yay, socks. Okay. Oh, they're so cute. It literally says right on the thing, socks. Oh, socks. So I guess there's 3 more in here. It's a 5-pack. I'm not going to take them all out, but I have socks now. Oh, new socks. Okay. This is my favorite so far. Socks. Where should I put this? I need to bring this in immediately. This goes in here. Okay. I think these are the same socks from last night. Oh, there's 2 pairs. Okay, yes, I think. I'm pretty sure these are the same socks I'm wearing now. Or they're a little bit shorter, but they're similar. They're probably the same brand. I really like the ones I'm wearing now. So, okay, more socks. I literally told her when we talked, because she always asks me, like, is there anything that you can think of? And the only thing I can really think of lately has been socks. I don't want to lose these. They're little, so they're little and they're black, so these could easily be misplaced. Okay, how am I not going to lose these? I'll just put them, they're very scented. I think she washed these before she sent them. I'll just put them in here. In here. Okay. I think I see more socks. Okay, hold on. What's that? There's more socks. Oh my god, there are more socks. Okay, this is good. More socks. Oh god, it looks like she bought these though. The other ones I think she might have already had. That's what I said. I was like, because I know that she sends me a lot of stuff, you know, because she's getting older, so she sends me a lot of stuff that's like, you know, stuff that she might not need anymore, that she's gradually trying to get rid of. But then, so I was like, yeah, if there's any socks that you don't wear anymore, but then it looks like these have a tag on them, so it looks like she bought these, so I don't. These must be socks. Must be socks. Oh my god. Oh gosh. I think this is the same, wait, no, oh, I'm not, okay. Normally the hats that I wear this black one with the white one over it. I think this black one looks like it's the same size as the white one. Because these are 2 different sizes. Right? Well, I always need hats. I wear wigs and I'm bald, so the more hats the better. I love hats and socks. Okay. So, I can't lose this. I'm gonna put this in here. Yeah, I really don't like wearing this hat because the little fuzzies get in my eye sometimes, but I was trying to get into the holiday spirit. Oh gosh. Okay. So I gotta bring these in. Oh gosh. Guys, my car is such a mess. Alright, this I'm gonna put back in there. Ooh. Ooh. Alright. Okay, these. Oh, I'm gonna wear these now. Okay. So I'm pretty sure I got to like all the notes that I had for today. Although I was trying to keep them short on purpose because I knew that I was also going to be trying to unwrap that stuff while it was still reasonably light outside. Oh my gosh, but it is getting dark out now. Oh, you guys, I love my gram so much. She's my favorite. She's pretty much my favorite human. Besides my dancer friend Taz, who's also Gemini. They're both Geminis. So it seems like most of my favorite people are Geminis. Not all of them, but anyway. Okay. So, yay. I have more socks now. Now I just need to get new dancer shoes. but I have the socks, so that's nice. So I know there was still one thing that I was trying to remember from earlier when I was talking about Ernest Shackleton. That drives me nuts when I was gonna say something and then I forget. I love that story. I'm sure I'm gonna want to talk about it again later on at some point anyways. So, like, literally when I get back to my apartment, I'm gonna go on YouTube and maybe try to watch this video, or I still haven't watched my last two videos, which were both pretty long. So I want to watch those at some point because there's no ads on them, which is really nice. But I also really want to watch more stuff about Ernest Shackleton and his voyage, and Frank Worsley and the rest of them. And I want to do more research on that, and I want to learn more about it and watch more about it. But with those videos, there's so many ads. Like, it's very bothersome to me. It's very distracting. Whereas my videos don't have ads, so I love watching my videos without the ads. So yeah, I really want to get back to my place and watch more videos about that. And then hopefully watching those videos, the other thing I wanted to mention about that might come back to me, and then I can write it down in new notes. So for my next video. Okay. So this video is already over an hour and it's definitely getting dark out now. So I'm gonna wrap this up. I hope you guys have a I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Yeah, my dancer friend Taz and I, we wanted to do a Christmas video together at the club from the dressing room. Oh, well, if I do go into work later, maybe we could do that. Oh my gosh, that's another reason for me to try to go into the club and work tonight. But if that doesn't happen tonight, then the next time that I would be like coming out or going to work or making a video, that kind of thing, would be after Christmas, because oh my gosh, Christmas is tomorrow, right? Yeah. So we might have to just do a video like for New Year's with a New Year's theme instead, but that would still be kind of fun. I don't know. I just know that it seems like she wants to come on and do a live with me again, which I'm really excited about, because in my notes, I have a very long list of questions for her. It goes all the way down from like the top of the page to the bottom. So regardless of what the theme is, Christmas or New Year's or whatever it might be, either way, I think it'll be fun to do that again with her and ask her a whole bunch of more questions. So yeah, hopefully I will be able to come back on soon. I'm guessing probably if I do, I am going to probably swing by the club just to see how it is. So if I do work tonight, maybe I can, if she works tonight also and I see her, maybe we could try to do a video then from the club for like Christmas. But if that doesn't end up happening, then my next time coming on will probably be, I'm going to aim for Sunday. I usually do try to work at the club on Sundays, although we are supposed to get more snow on Sunday, and right now it says that we're expected to get about 1 inch of snow, which, okay, whatever, like that would probably still be doable. But this snowstorm that we just had today and last night, that originally said that it was expected to be 1 inch of snow as well. So like a few days prior, it had said that we were supposed to get 1 inch yesterday and today. And then it went to 2 inches, and then it went to 3, and then it went to 5, and then it went to 7, and then it went... And then it went back to 3, and then it went back to 5, and then it went back to 2, and then it went back up to 7. So whoever does the weather reports around here honestly should probably just be fired or I don't want to be too cruel about it, maybe like demoted, or they need to step up their game basically. Do they really deserve a holiday bonus? I don't want to say anything about that because I don't want to be mean, but they need to increase their skill level and set. They need to do something to improve what they've been doing recently and so far. Whoever does them lately, the weather reports, they do a very bad job. I'm just gonna put it point blank. That's just how I feel, because they do. It's just, I mean, it's actually really scary and dangerous. Like, it's not a joke. I mean, I'm kind of joking about it now, but it's not a joke, because these storms here can be dangerous and deadly, and you got to try to plan around them as best you can. Like, if you don't, you can get seriously hurt or die. So, you know, it's kind of important to get that shit right, or to get that stuff right as best you can, or as accurate as you can. Like, not just make a joke of it and mess around with it just for kicks. I don't know what they're doing with that. But so yeah, the last time they said that yesterday and today was supposed to be originally 1 inch of snow. And it did turn into probably about, at least I would say it was probably 5 or 6, it seemed. It could have been up to 7, because some of the shoveling I did last night, but most of it I did today. So between the 2 times, it was probably like 4 or 5 inches today and 1 or 2 last night. So it was definitely more than 1 either way. Quite a bit more. So depending on how Sunday goes, I would like to try to come out if I can, but we'll see. I'm going to try to come back on as soon as I can, though. I hope you guys out there have a I'm in a busy parking lot right now. Normally when I do these videos, I'm at the club. I'm in the grocery store parking lot right now. And obviously with the holidays and with Christmas tomorrow, the grocery stores have been very busy lately. So I get very distracted by things. I don't know why. It's not that interesting, but like, it's not like people are like running around doing crazy things right now. They're just parking and driving through the parking lot, and walking, I guess. But all right. I hope you guys have a happy holiday. Holidays plural, I guess. I hate holidays, but you know, they exist, so do I. So I'm trying to make the most of that, or yeah, whatever. I don't know. Happy holidays. Hope you guys are staying warm, or trying to. Hopefully I can come back on pretty soon. And yeah, thanks for watching, and peace out for now, guys.